Previously. In our previous episode, we were all set up at 14 Mile. We did a day trip around the station exploring the other sites and returned to Five Finger Reef where we spotted our first turtle on the reef.
It takes me home.
A great week at 14 Mile, but we had another epic campsite we wanted to stay at.
I walk this road because I know.
Leaving 14 Mile, we headed south along the station road. Any guesses on where we headed?
No matter when, no matter what, I have a place to go.
To get to our spot, we had to put the foot down a little to get up this slight sandy track. No problems for the nav.
We had already sussed out the track and how we planned to get the van into position. It always pays to have a plan.
We had decided to turn the van around as there was firm sand to the left as opposed to some really soft sand on the right hand side.
We started reversing it in, but had to stop and help out our mates Blaine and Nades, who had gotten themselves a little stuck again.
We walk this road, it takes us home where love is true.
Now, if you've been following along with our adventure, you would know that poor Blaine blew his axle seal back at 14 Mile, so he has been unable to use four-wheel drive gears until his part arrives in Carnarvon. Not a problem, as we have said, we're more than happy to help as he needs.
We tried to dig him out and use the aid of the max tracks and the treads, but had no luck as he was bogged up to his rear diff.
Deciding the easiest way would be to simply winch him out of the small bog hole. We unhitched the van where it sat and positioned the nav on some firm sand opposite of him.
Good outcome. That's all you needed. Yeah, Nathan.
As you can see, he didn't need much to get him out. Quite a good effort with this bog hole though.
Blaine and Nades got themselves in position while we rehitched the van and started to get ourselves into position. Our plan was to simply reverse the van all the way into our spot.
No matter what.
A little bit of effort, but totally worth it with these epic views if you ask us. So where are we? You're probably thinking? We are at Warroora Station, Stephen's camp spot.
Rusty loved the views as much as us. This spot was more protected from the winds than 14 Mile.
Hey guys, so we're just at Steve's campsite at Warroora Station, and the boys have found some firewood down the hole, and it's too heavy to lift up, so they have come up with an idea to winch it up. So they're going to use our winch, and then they've got the pulley here on Blaine's, and it is all the way down there. You Sam? All in the effort for some firewood.
What a genius idea, right? Why struggle when we can use mechanical aids? It worked a treat, just having to re-spool the rope every couple of meters as it was pulling to one side. So do not try this at home guys, as this winch pull is not how we would normally set up for a recovery. The log is not heavy at all and put no strain on the winch, so we didn't go over the top like we normally would with safety.
Behind our camp was a large sand dune that we trekked up, and it offered great views and, more importantly, some phone signal to contact loved ones.
We watched the sunset a couple of times up here too. Great views and great company.
Now this is how far we had to walk from our front door to the water's edge. Not very far at all.
Time is dancing in the endless sky, racing the constellations, knowing where the days are going, so we watch them.
It was crazy, we had this whole stretch of beach to ourselves. We walked for kilometers in both directions each morning, stretching the legs and seeing what shells had washed up overnight.
Rusty loved it as well, not too deep to wet her toes.
There was even this old ironing board near the entrance to our beach access, a clean filleting station for when you catch fish.
Look at these views, what a magical place we are at.
We regularly put our snorkels on and headed out right in front of the camp to explore underwater.
Check out this mega blue starfish. There were so many of these just laying around.
With the heart of fire, we are the sun, we are the sun. We are the young ones with the heart of fire. We are the sun, we are the sun. We are the young ones with the heart of
I took the spear gun out a couple of times, and lo and behold, I finally speared my first fish, a cod.
open sky.
For something different, we headed up to Elles Beach, which was only a short 10-minute drive away.
The beach was absolutely covered in bright mini shells, and the reef structure here was very different to what we have seen.
It's burning bright, everything in going light.
A good spot to flick a few rods in.
Oh, we have it all. Oh, we have it all. Oh, we have.
Well, after 5 glorious days here, we watched our final sunset, as tomorrow we had made the tough decision to move on.
At the sunrise.
Words can't describe how much we love this spot. There was just something about no crowds, epic views, snorkeling on your doorstep, and great company that made Stevens one of our favourite campsites on the trip so far. Oh, and most importantly, dog friendly.
Where you are. In this moment I could stay forever.
Well, it was time to prepare the van and get it all ready for the drive south. Here I am, locking away my fishing rods into their holders.
Dreaming up our greatest new endeavor.
Blaine and Nades had took off early, as Blaine's part had arrived in Carnarvon, so we took our time packing up and leaving.
Found you.
We will definitely miss Stevens and hope to return in the near future.
There you are. Under the old oak tree, or somewhere across the sea. I just wanna be where you are.
As you can see, it was a bit of a zigzag to get down into the campground, and we should mention there was 1 or 2 slightly narrow spots, so make sure you do your homework on whether this spot is suitable for you.
Dreaming up our greatest new endeavor.
Overall for us, Warroora Station lived up to all its hype. We would recommend any of these spots to everyone we meet.
We briefly stopped by the homestead before heading out the northern entrance where we saw the official station sign.
We grabbed a nice photo before heading out.
Well, join us next time as we pop into Carnarvon, then head straight up to Warroora Station where we splurge out and hire a shack at the bluff.
Love our videos? Why not help support us on Patreon? If you love the video, remember to give us a thumbs up. Cheers, legends.